The role of the Strategic Management Board is to oversee and monitor the delivery of the public protection arrangements. We do that by coming together on a quarterly basis, and the work is undertaken primarily through the various subcommittees. That includes policy and practice, accommodation, training and, critically important, communication. Within the Strategic Management Board there are also two lay advisors, and they play a very important role as a critical friend to the operational agencies who deliver the arrangements, and they are appointed by the Department of Justice.
At the core of PANI are the local area public protection panels. The panels are made up of a number of agencies affiliated to PANI, that is the Probation Board of Northern Ireland, Northern Ireland Prison Service, the PSNI, the Northern Ireland Housing Executive and the Health and Social Care Trusts. Each agency brings its own strengths to the arrangements, its own area of expertise. Each individual discussed at PANI, the agencies pull the information about that individual and draft individual bespoke risk management plans for those individuals by way of reducing risk to the public.
The role of PANI is to ensure public safety. For the very small number of people, former offenders, who are considered a potential risk to the public, it's important that we monitor those people in an effective way. What PANI does is it brings together the key agencies to deliver that monitoring. I act as the main sponsor for PANI on behalf of the Department of Justice and David Ford, the Minister.
Well, as Assistant Chief Constable with the Police Service, my role is to represent the police and to bring to the table the information and the expertise that the police can contribute to the public protection arrangements, to keeping people safe, to protecting vulnerable people. We actually have, right across the table, people working together, people making joint decisions. Until recently I was the chair of PANI, and that's now been handed over to the Probation Board, but I'm still at the table and we still have a really important role to play in supporting each other. Each of the various agencies have different expertise, so we bring that to the table, but most importantly we share information and we share our ability to assess and manage risk.
The prison service is really an offender's first contact with the criminal justice agencies following conviction, and it's the prison service's role to offer a number of programmes to ensure that the offender completes in custody those things he's been asked to do by the court, by the convicting court, and to prepare that offender for eventual release into the community. And we do that in partnership with our police and probation colleagues. And we bring the information we learn during the time this person spends in custody to our local area public protection panels, which are held in prison before the person's released, and where the agencies involved decide what licensing conditions need to be set to manage that person safely in the community. PANI works by providing the agencies and the criminal justice agencies with opportunities to share and to work collegiately together to make sure that all the risks are identified and all steps are taken to manage those risks safely and effectively in the community.
I'm the PANI coordinator, which basically means my job is to assist all of the agencies who work within the arrangement. So that's all the criminal justice agencies and those agencies tasked with child and vulnerable adult protection to work together. So I assist them in their quarterly meetings at the Strategic Management Board. I assist all of the 5 subgroups to work together in order to assist them to make the arrangements work for the public of Northern Ireland.
I represent NSPCC on public protection arrangements, a role I've had for a number of years, and really our role is to provide an independent challenge voice and a voice of the victims into the PANI arrangements. Well, we hope that we can provide a victim's perspective where children have been abused and our experience as a national children's organisation into the arrangements, and through that make them work better for everyone concerned.
I think the benefits of PANI are immense in the sense that the whole aim of PANI is to try and implement public protection arrangements, so protecting our children, the general public and vulnerable people. In that respect, the Housing Executive contributes to meeting that aim as best it can by working in a managed and coordinated way to try and manage risk. It means that agencies can share information, and by doing that we can get a better understanding of individuals' behaviours and so develop appropriate solutions in terms of addressing the various issues in that regard.
My current role is Assistant Director Social Care and Children within the Health and Social Care Board. I have specific responsibility in that role for statutory children's services, child protection being one element of that. Well, PANI is really a multi-agency, multi-professional body, bringing together all those agencies who have a remit, a responsibility or an involvement for either the protection of children or the protection of vulnerable adults, or for the management of offenders. So it brings together both the statutory agencies with that responsibility within health and social care and within justice, including obviously police and probation, and then some of the voluntary and community sector agencies who also have an involvement.
As a community representative, I'm all too aware of the various community tensions that can appear when the issue of sex offenders is raised, and understand fully the not in my street concern that is often voiced by concerned residents. However, I'm also aware that we do need an effective system that will offer the appropriate protection to the public when convicted offenders are eventually released from custody. And here in Northern Ireland, our protection is delivered through the public protection arrangements. Ultimately, it is this board that decides the overall direction in which the various agencies involved in protecting the public work together to deliver effective public protection. In my role, I am able to both observe and examine any aspect of the arrangements, and most importantly, can ask questions of the professionals who are charged with ensuring the effective management of offenders. I am now starting my 5th year as a lay advisor, and during the last 4 years I have gained a very good understanding of how the main partner agencies work together and what is a very difficult area of offender management. I have found all the staff that I have come into contact with to be both professional, dedicated in their respective roles. I see that as partners in the bigger picture, they work collectively towards ensuring offenders are managed according to the risk they pose, and I have great confidence in the system of public protection that I am involved in.